So the U.S. women's soccer team lost to Sweden in the World Cup, and this was very interesting for me to observe. The videos of how the Women's World Cup lost their match were particularly telling. We can show this on the screen. So Megan Rapinoe is what color hair does she have today? She used to have pink hair. I think she has green hair now. She's the green-haired lesbian, woke lesbian. And this is her penalty kick against Sweden. She missed it, and therefore the U.S. lost their match because it's sudden death with these penalty kicks. Megan Rapinoe is the one who hashtag equal pay. We do the same thing that the men. She's just the wokest of the woke. She thinks men who identify as women should be allowed to play on the Women's World Cup team. Right as, by the way, this was her retirement match. It was, they lost, and so now she's finished playing soccer. So she wants men to play on the women's team, but only after it won't impact her anymore. And it was interesting to me to observe how many of you on Twitter were celebrating the fact that the U.S. lost. Because to me, it's not that I see both sides of this. It feels weird to me to celebrate when an American team, an American sports team in an international arena, meaning when they're playing under the banner of the the American flag, when an American team loses, it feels weird to me to celebrate that because I want the U.S. to win. Of course, I have national pride. I want the U.S. to win. At the same time, it's amazing to me to see the depth of passion that so many of you feel about the dangers of wokeness, to the point where when we think of the U.S. women's soccer team, we think of the individual players and reject their wokeness even more than we embrace the idea that this is a team that's supposed to represent America. And the players, while yes, it's fun to watch certain players who have certain skills, especially standouts, it's not so much about the individual players, but the flag that we represent. So it was a little weird to me to see so many people saying, oh, well, the anti-American team lost, haha, never laughed so hard in my life. In fact, some people were even calling Megan Rapinoe the woke choke because she's supposed to be the best player on the women's soccer team, and she did. She choked in the moment of truth. They lost because she missed that penalty kick at the end. And I'm interested in your thoughts on this because I can't quite bring myself to celebrate the loss because it is an American team on an international stage. And yet I deeply appreciate the depth of passion and even the anger that so many Americans feel against wokeness. I actually find this response celebrating the loss to be encouraging because I like to see how many people feel this strongly that wokeness is an existential threat to our country, that they are willing to overlook just the fun of sports in their attempt to eradicate wokeness from our society, including from an American team where the star is rejecting the American flag and the national anthem. This is the depth of Megan Rapinoe's wokeness, right? Remember this, because after the game, she was asked what the most rewarding part of playing her long career, she's like 38 years old or something, what the most rewarding part of playing on the U.S. women's soccer team has been throughout her career, and this was her answer.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment?
I mean, probably equal pay chance after the final. And I think, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more, and that's been the most rewarding part for me. Of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that, but, to know that we've used our really special talent to do something that's really changed the world forever. I think that means the most to me. And, the players in this locker room here, they're just getting started. And, to all the players that I've played with, obviously, who know what it's like to be in the grind, that's the best part.
Changed at least women's sports forever, since I can only assume the next World Cup, the U.S. women's soccer team will be composed entirely of men, since this is what Megan Rapinoe is advocating for. And as men, I guess we won't see them lose in this humiliating manner because of the woke loser, Megan Rapinoe, who misses the penalty kick at the end of her career. Because this is what she stands for. She stands for wokeness. She wants men, literal men, to be on the women's World Cup soccer team. That's so dangerous, so unfair, so anti-woman. It's not equal anything. Maybe the U.S. women's World Cup soccer team would deserve equal pay to the men if their team was composed of entirely men, because maybe they would actually get equal viewership and equal advertiser revenue if they played at the level that men do. Remember, Megan Rapinoe and her team lost to a U15 boys team. That means boys under the 15 years old and younger, they lost to because men are physically superior to women in sports. I understand. I totally understand. I empathize with and I relate to the celebration of the U.S. women's soccer team losing the World Cup, although I can't bring myself to celebrate it because I care more about America than I do about Megan Rapinoe. Thank goodness she is on her way to retirement. You want to talk about creepy? Amazon is bringing their new payment method to Whole Foods stores all across the country. You just put your hand over the scanner and it scans your palm, your biometrics to identify who you are in order to pay for your groceries. I'm going to tell you why I would never, ever, ever, not in a million trillion years, ever do this. So this is one of the creepiest things that I've ever seen. And I know this is not new, but the prevalence is, well, it's becoming more prevalent. It's coming to a store, a Whole Foods near you. So Whole Foods has a plan, let me bring up, called Amazon One. And Amazon One is trying to make, this is a very charitable way of describing it, is trying to make life easier for people by telling them that they don't have to pay with a credit card, they don't have to pay with cash, they don't even have to pay with their phone when they're checking out groceries at Amazon. It would allow them to simply hover their hand or their palm over a scanner and it would biometrically identify you with your payment method that you've previously put into the Amazon system. And so all you need is to put your hand out to pay for your groceries. This is someone trying it in a Whole Foods. Take a look at this video.
I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my... That's the coolest thing ever.
That is not the coolest thing ever. I can't actually believe how naive she is and excited she is about this. This is the creepiest thing ever. Will I ever do this? Never. Never. To give Amazon not only your credit card, I mean, it's one thing that it's a hurdle that we all overcame to allow some of these online merchants to store our credit card information rather than putting it in every time and then the system forgetting it. And that's about as far as I can go. But to allow them to scan your hand, to track your biology, to associate you with your payment method, what would that allow them to do? Well, that would allow them the same kind of power as a central bank digital currency. That would allow them the power to deny you access to what? Food? This is Whole Foods. If they didn't like what you post, if maybe you were critical of Amazon, they could, it's control. It's so creepy. In fact, it reminds me of Revelations chapter 13, verse 16, which says, also, it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of its name. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.